Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is another beautiful day, and we have a ton of crazy drama to unpack from today's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. If you want to know all the messy details of what went down in LA on July 15, grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get right into it. So, let's start with Melissa Dillon, because honestly, I am still trying to process what I just watched. A few episodes ago, back in April really, we saw Dillon make this huge, noble sacrifice. She packed up her stuff, moved out of Will's beach house, and basically told him to go fix things with Elektra. She was playing the supportive friend, the bigger person, and I respected that. I really did. But today was a completely different story. Dillon is over at Will's place, supposedly just trying to be friends. Just keeping things casual, right? Wrong. So wrong. Out of nowhere, her eyes literally roll to the back of her head, and she just goes for it. She essentially attacks Will with pure passion right there in his own home. Like she just lunges and makes this massive, aggressive, romantic move on him. And I'm sitting there screaming at my screen because where did this come from? I mean, we all knew she was crazy about him. That was obvious from the way she used to look at him when they were roommates. But to just snap and make such a huge move so suddenly, it was wild. It was messy. It was prime soap opera, honestly. And Will. Oh, Will Spencer, what are we going to do with you? He is just standing there, completely overwhelmed. Right now, Will is already being absolutely consumed by guilt. He feels terrible for not being entirely honest with Elektra in the first place, especially after all that toxic drama with Ivy hiding that letter months ago. He feels like he failed Elektra. And now he has this massive new layer of guilt piled on top because he just crossed a huge line with Dillon. He let it happen. He didn't just push her away instantly. And that is so typical, isn't it? It's like the Spencer waffle gene is just hardwired into his DNA. Bill does it, Liam does it constantly with Hope and Steffi, and now Will is doing it. He is caught between two women, feeling guilty about both of them, and probably going to make the worst possible decisions moving forward. You almost feel bad for him, but then you remember he could just use his words and set boundaries. But no, he's just drowning in guilt and making everything worse. Meanwhile, across town, we have Elektra. Elektra is currently walking around giving these big speeches about how Spencers and Forresters just don't mix. Which, okay, let's be real for a second. That is the most hilarious thing she could possibly say. Has she looked at her own family? The Forresters and Spencers have been mixing, matching, marrying, and divorcing for decades. Brooke and Bill, Katie and Bill, Steffi and Liam, Hope and Liam. It's literally the foundation of the entire show. So for Elektra to act like it's some forbidden, impossible concept is just funny. But you can tell she's just saying that to protect herself. She's trying to build a wall because she still has major feelings for Will. She is still completely in love with him, despite all the RJ distractions and the Ivy manipulations. She wants Will. But you guys, you just know that if she finds out what just happened between Will and Dillon at the beach house, she is going to absolutely explode. Like nuclear level explosion. Elektra already has a temper. And finding out that the friend who moved out just passionately attacked her ex-boyfriend? Oh, it's going to be bad. The fallout at Forrester Creations is going to be legendary. I wouldn't be surprised if they start throwing mannequins at each other. But okay, let's take a breath. Let's switch gears. Because the other half of this episode was it was heavy. Really, really heavy. And I honestly wasn't prepared for it. We need to talk about Daphne Rose Walton and this devastating medical diagnosis. So Daphne is at the hospital. If you remember from a while back, she and Carter were having a lot of trouble conceiving, and they were finally scheduling some doctor's appointments to see what was going on. Well, today she gets her answers, and it is heartbreaking. She's at the hospital, and there's some kind of emergency with her regular doctor, so Lee just happens to fill in. Typical soap convenience, right? The one doctor you know on staff is the one who delivers the life-changing news. But whatever, we'll let that slide because the scene itself was so intense. Lee is the one who has to look at Daphne and give her the diagnosis: premature menopause. Wait, premature menopause? I literally had to pause the show. Daphne is so young. She seems way too young for this to be happening. I know premature menopause is a real medical condition and it can happen to younger women, but it just feels so cruel for this character right now. Maybe I'm being too harsh on the writers, but it just feels like they are piling the tragedy onto Daphne and Carter. She is sitting there in this cold, clinical room, completely reeling from what Lee is telling her. Her whole world is just collapsing. She and Carter wanted a baby so badly. They were so eager to start a family. And now Lee is sitting there telling her that her body is basically shutting down that possibility naturally. And my heart just breaks for Carter. The notes for today specifically pointed out that Carter is going to wish he had been there with his wife. He wasn't there when she got the news. And that makes it 1,000,000 times worse. Can we just talk about Carter Walton for a minute? The man cannot catch a break. He has the worst luck in love in the history of Los Angeles. He had his heart broken by Zoe. He had that whole messy, disastrous affair with Quinn that ended in tears. He had the weird Paris Buckingham situation, the Katie Logan letdown. And now he finally finds a beautiful, loving partner in Daphne. They get married, they settle down, they are ready to be happy. All Carter wants is to be a dad. He officiates everyone else's weddings, he watches everyone else have these big, messy families, and he just wants his own. And now this. It's just brutal. Just so brutal. Now Daphne has to figure out how to go home and tell him. How do you even say that to your husband? How do you look at the man you love, who wants a baby more than anything, and tell him that it might not happen? At least, not the way they planned. I know they hinted a few months ago about surrogacy or adoption, and I really hope the show explores those routes beautifully. But right now, in this moment, Daphne is just suffocating under the weight of this news. She is terrified of breaking Carter's heart. And honestly, I am terrified to watch it happen. It's going to be a tearjerker of an episode when she finally breaks the news. But there is a tiny silver lining in all this darkness. Steffi Forrester Finnegan is going to be right there to support her friend. And I have to say, I really love this. We spend so much time watching Steffi in full-on CEO boss babe mode, yelling at Hope, fighting with Brooke, defending her dad, trying to manage Forrester Creations. It is exhausting just watching her sometimes. But when her friends are hurting, Steffi shows up. She is going to be a rock for Daphne. Steffi knows what it's like to have medical trauma. She knows what it's like to fear for your family, so having her step in and just be a supportive shoulder for Daphne to cry on is really beautiful. It grounds the show. It reminds us that underneath all the corporate backstabbing and the love triangles, these people actually care about each other. Steffi being there for Daphne is exactly the kind of female friendship this show needs more of. It's actually crazy when you look at these two storylines side by side. On one hand, you have Will, Dylan, and Elektra playing these immature, messy games with each other's hearts. Kissing, hiding, lying, feeling guilty, but not actually doing anything to fix it. It's all so chaotic and young. And then, on the exact same day, you have Carter and Daphne dealing with real, gut-wrenching, life-altering tragedy. They aren't playing games. They just want to build a life together. And the universe is just throwing up these massive, unfair roadblocks. It really makes you want to shake Will and tell him to grow up and appreciate what he has before he ruins it completely. Because people like Carter would give anything just to have a normal, happy, healthy family life. It's a wild contrast. And honestly, it's what makes this show so addictive, even when it frustrates me to no end. So yeah, that's where we are. We have Dylan practically assaulting Will with kisses while he drowns in guilt. Electra living in a state of delusional denial about her feelings, and Daphne facing the most heartbreaking medical news of her life, while Carter remains blissfully unaware of the storm coming his way. It is a lot, you guys. It is just a lot. I'm exhausted just talking about it, but I'll be tuning in tomorrow to see how this all blows up. Because Will has to tell Electra, right? Or someone is going to catch them. And Daphne has to tell Carter. The secrets are just ticking time bombs right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Are you Team Dylan or Team Electra? And how hard did you cry for Daphne today? I'll see you in the next update.
What do you guys think about today's drama? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for your daily dose of bold and beautiful news. See you in the next video.